I am Kelvrith, Scout Commander for the Xanthir Collective, and I need you to understand something. When we talk about apex predators, we think of speed, claws, venom. We're wrong. The most terrifying predator is the one that simply refuses to stop. The mission was supposed to be simple. Survey team, geological samples, 6-day expedition to Kepler 62e. Standard crew, me, 2 Xanthir scouts, a Quellan scientist, and the human. Dr. Aaron Drake, xenogeologist, 1.65 meters of unimpressive biology wrapped in an expedition suit. Humans were new to survey work, and frankly, I questioned Central's decision to include one. She was always behind. While we bounded across the rocky terrain on our powerful legs, she trudged. While we processed nutrients efficiently, she constantly consumed water and something she called trail mix. She was, objectively, the weakest link. Day 3, we found the canyon system. Magnificent geological formations, exactly what we came for. Drake was collecting samples when the ground gave way. Not dramatically, just a quiet shift of unstable rock. She dropped 15 meters into a crevasse. "Drake," I called down. My thermal scanner showed her heat signature, alive but trapped. "I'm okay," her voice echoed up. "Broken leg though, definitely broken." We tried for 2 hours. The crevasse was too narrow for our body types, too unstable for climbing equipment. The walls kept shifting, threatening a complete collapse. "We'll return to base camp," I decided. "Send a proper rescue team with better equipment, 12 hours maximum." "Copy that," she replied, her voice tight with pain but steady. "I'm not going anywhere." That should have been my first warning. We reached base camp in 4 hours, but the atmospheric processor had failed, a critical malfunction. Without it, the camp would be uninhabitable in 6 hours, lethal in 12. The choice was brutal: abandon the expedition entirely or continue, but we couldn't risk both missions. I made the call. We'd retrieve Drake on the return journey with proper rescue equipment from the main station, 2 days away. "You're leaving her," the Quellan scientist was horrified. "She has emergency supplies for 96 hours, I said, believing it. "We'll return in 48. It's unfortunate but survivable." I filed the report, logged her position. We evacuated. What I didn't know, what none of us knew, was that humans don't just survive. They hunt. 41 hours later, I was in the base station command center when the perimeter alarm triggered. "Impossible," the security officer muttered. "That signature is, that's Drake's suit beacon." "Check the sensors," I ordered. "That crevasse was 300 kilometers from here." The doors cycled open. Dr. Aaron Drake limped inside, covered in dust, face sunburned despite her suit, left leg splinted with equipment fragments and sealed with emergency foam. She was dragging her sample case. She looked at me with those flat, predatory human eyes and said, "I need water, and someone to set this leg properly. Then we need to talk." The medical bay fell silent as the Quellan physician examined her. "Compound fracture, severe dehydration, 3 broken ribs, exposure damage," he listed, his voice shaking. "Commander, she walked 300 kilometers. "I crawled the first 20, Drake corrected, drinking water in careful sips, "until I could fashion a splint. Then I walked." "Impossible," I breathed. "The terrain." "Was challenging," she agreed. "Took me 39 hours. Had to stop twice when I felt myself shutting down. Your species can sprint faster than mine, Commander, but humans," she smiled, and it wasn't friendly. "We can walk forever, it's what we do." "No species can." "On Earth," she interrupted, "my ancestors hunted antelope, creatures 4 times their speed. You know how they just followed hour after hour, day after day. The antelope would sprint away, hide, rest. My ancestors would walk up and find them, again and again, until the prey simply collapsed from exhaustion. It's called persistence hunting. We're not fast, Commander. We're inevitable." The physician ran another scan. "Her body is consuming itself for energy. The muscle damage." We'll heal, Drake said. Humans are good at that too. Now, Commander Kelvrith, let's discuss why you left me. I had no answer that didn't sound like exactly what it was. We'd calculated she was acceptable losses. You made a tactical decision, she said, reading my face. I understand, but here's what you need to know for future reference. Humans don't stay where you put them. We don't wait for rescue. We don't accept our fate. She leaned forward, and despite her injuries, despite being half our size, every being in that medical bay leaned back. We get up and we walk, and we keep walking until we get home or we die. Usually we get home. She pulled out her data pad, somehow still functional. I also collected 17 additional core samples on my walk back. Figured since I was coming this way anyway, and I'd already fulfilled the geological survey requirements. The physician began treating her. 3 hours of surgery for the leg. Drake refused sedation beyond local anesthetic. I like being conscious, she explained. It's a control thing. Reports went up the chain. Command wanted explanations. How had we miscalculated so badly? How had we not known? The answer was in the files we'd never truly read. Earth's gravity higher than standard. Earth's climate, extreme temperature variations. Earth's predators, everything. Humans evolved to outlast them all. There's a reason they're called endurance predators. In a sprint, they lose. In a marathon, they're unmatched. Give them a goal and they will walk toward it until their bodies physically stop functioning, and even then they'll crawl. Drake stayed with the expedition. 13 more days of surveying, working on a healing fracture that should have sidelined her for weeks. She never complained. She simply adapted. When I asked her why she didn't request evacuation, she looked at me like I'd asked why water was wet. I signed on for the full expedition, Commander. Plus, I don't let broken bones set my schedule. That's not how we do things. The report I filed changed collective protocol. New designation for human team members, persistence class. Special notation in the files. Will not stay where placed. Account for autonomous recovery over any distance. Do not leave behind unless absolutely confirmed deceased, and even then, remain uncertain. But the real lesson I learned, the one that keeps me awake in ship night, is this: speed is impressive. Strength is dangerous. But persistence is inevitable. And of all humanity's traits, their pack bonding, their chemical rage, their bizarre adaptability, it's the persistence that truly terrifies me. Because you can hide from something fast, you can defend against something strong. But something that just keeps coming, hour after hour, that tracks you across impossible distance with nothing but water and determination. You can't escape that. You can only hope it's on your side. Dr. Erin Drake received a commendation. I recommended her for advanced survey status, not because of the samples she collected or the injuries she endured, but because she taught the collective a lesson we needed to learn. When you leave a human behind, you haven't removed them from the equation. You've just given them a direction to walk.